Alright, so I'm out in Pittsboro today, North Carolina, and asking for a ride out, see what I can see, to take photographs and video of. And this is parked to the side of the road. It's an old Ford. I don't know which model it is, but there you can see the Ford symbol there, and Ford stamped into the hood there, and Ford in the headlights. Excuse me. Looking back on vehicles, you know, especially like this, nowadays, when they're restored to this, they really are works of art, because you can see how far the automobile has come, right from the wooden spokes here in the wheels, the thinness of the tires, the axle. Now the axle's changed. Known as today as a soft top, drop top. So you've got this beautiful specimen of a old vehicle, beautifully restored. And the spare is right here. And the size of that, 30 by 3.5. So, what would you do today? It's actually made by Firestone, the tire. What would you do today if you needed tires for this? I guess it would be either a special order, something like that. And how much would they cost? Steering wheel just looks like a piece of metal with metal cross members. And obviously it has gears. You can see there on the floor. Accelerator, clutch and brake. The handbrake is down here. The ignition. Very little instrumentation. In fact, looks like right here they've added something. The mirror, so the driver can see on the left hand side, the internal mirror. And of course, I bet these were features that were added later on. Trunk looks interesting, just as kind of like a normal key trunk. Here in America, boot. In the UK. And look at that. Look at that suspension. Springs, just one. I wonder what engine's in this too. The exhaust pipe is right there. The battery is underneath right there. The one spring. On the back, let's look here. One spring at the front, and of course there's the old crank handle. I remember my parents had a Morris Minor. Forget the year. It was one of the early ones, and that didn't have it had the handle in the trunk. The handle wasn't connected like this. It had the handle in the trunk and a hole in the front, and you put that thing in, and you crank that thing, because it had a dynamo. It had a dynamo on it. I'm wondering if this has a dynamo. It does have a battery. A lot of cars later on went from dynamo to alternator. And a lot of people do say that the dynamo system was a lot better than the alternator system, because the dynamo would provide, while ever the engine was running, electricity for the vehicle, whereas alternator charges the battery, and it's the battery that, I don't know, I'm not going to get into all that, but there was something about the dynamo system that was better than the alternator. You could, you know, start a vehicle up with the crank handle that we see here on the front, you know, or as a wanking handle, they called it. Whole dump trucks used to have it. Get on that wanking handle, wank that dumper up. Anyway, crank handle here. You start this thing, and in doing so, you know, the engine would be running. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Look where we've come from. You know, today. Wooden spokes, one spring, I believe that's called, at the front, one at the back. Look at the steering on this. How the steering works here. Really amazing. We've come a long way. Beautiful. Beautiful vehicle. It's really fantastic. Beautiful.